Hello everyone, wish you all a good day. This is Dr. Yugandhar. I welcome you all to pharmaceutics to continue with the extraction process part 2. So I hope you all remember in my last video we have gone through the first part of extraction process, and in this video we will be continuing with the second part of extraction process. So to talk about the course objectives, they all are same as what I have explained you in my first part of the video, and I don't think again the same course objectives has to be explained for this part of the video also. Let me move on to the objectives and clear structure of this video lecture. I have categorized the entire objectives of extraction process into two parts, part 1 and part 2. And in part 1, that's what we have covered in our first part of the video, include liquid extractions, that is liquid extractions by using separating funnel, and solid liquid extractions by using solvent extraction methods. Under this we have already completed maceration process and different methods of percolation process. And today in this video, under part 2, we will be continuing from the other remaining and leftover objectives, that is infusion, decoction, digestion and countercurrent extraction by using supercritical gas and steam distillation. And along with these, I will also cover few revision questions, and I will assign these revision questions as assignment for you. Let me move on to the first learning objective of this video, right? And before that, I just want to give a small reminder about the ground rules, and all the ground rules for the class remains the same other than few small changes. That's what you have to submit your audit form in PDF format to my personal number. The first objective of this video is infusion, right? Again, infusion, to define with, it is a process of extraction in which it is used for those type of drugs which are soft in nature, right? So those type of drugs which are soft in nature means the crude drugs or the plant parts which are soft in nature. For example, the petals of a flower and the leaves of a plant containing the active ingredients which are to be extracted. And for those type of soft drug material, this infusion process is useful. So infusion is defined as an extraction process which is used for those drugs which are soft in nature, so that the water or the solvent may penetrate easily to the tissues and all the active constituents are made soluble in the solvent and it has been extracted out. Normally, in case of infusion, the water is most widely used as a solvent. That is why in the definition everywhere water is mentioned at the place of solvent. These infusions are made freshly. Every time a fresh infusion has to be prepared and consumed within 24 hours of its preparation. That means if an infusion is prescribed to a patient, it has to be prepared freshly after receiving the prescription, and then you have to direct the patient to consume this infusion within 24 hours of its preparation. And we have good examples of infusions, and these include infusions of senna and quassia. Senna infusion and quassia infusion are good examples for this type of extracts which are prepared by infusion methods. Well, the next process is decoction, and this decoction is an extraction process in which the water soluble and heat stable, that means which are stable against heat, which are containing the constituents, and the constituents are stable against heat, of a hard and woody crude drugs are extracted out. Well, you just recall infusion. In case of infusion, the material has to be soft. For example, the leaf petals or the flower petals or the leaf of a plant. Whereas in this case, that is in case of decoction, it is used for extracting active ingredients which are hard and woody in nature, right? For example, the hard and woody parts include the bark portion of a plant, or a root of a plant, dry root of a plant, right? Or a dry stem of a plant, or a dry seed of a plant, right? Etc. Even in this case, that is in decoction, the menstruum or the solvent used is water. And in this case, the drug is boiled with water for a stated period of time, usually for 10 minutes. And after boiling, the liquid is strained and the water is passed through the contents of strainer to make the required volume. So initially what you are doing here, what you have to do, the drug has to be boiled with water for a stated period of time, that is for about 10 minutes. And after boiling, the liquid is strained in the sense you can just press the leftover part and the water is passed through the contents of strainer to make the required volume finally. And this preparation must be consumed within 24 hours, as like what we are doing in case of infusion. And at present there are no official decoctions in British Pharmacopoeia. There may be few official in other pharmacopoeias, and in British Pharmacopoeia there is no official decoction is present. Maybe few are there, that may be unofficial. And next is digestion process, and this process is a modified form of maceration in which the extraction of drug is carried out by applying a gentle heat to the substance being extracted. Right here you have to recall the maceration process what we have discussed in our first part of the video, right? And what they say here, this process is a modified form of maceration in which the extraction of drug is carried out by applying a gentle heat to the substances being extracted. And again you have to remember, and even this process, digestion process, is suitable for those substances, those type of sample material which contain active ingredients which are heat stable, right? Because you are applying a gentle heat, right? Gentle heat is not like a very elevated temperature heating process, but a moderate temperature is applied here, but still you have to ensure it does not contain any material which is sensitive against even gentle heat. And this method is applicable only in those type of drugs where a moderately elevated temperature is not objectionable. That's what just now I explained. This method is applicable only to those type of crude drugs where a moderately elevated temperature or a gentle temperature is not objectionable, and the solvent action of the menstruum is increased by gentle heat. That is the purpose, we need to heat it gently. And next type of extraction process is countercurrent extraction. So in this you have to look into the diagram or picture what I have given and check what are all the contents the picture represent, and the equipment or the extractor for this process, that is counter current extraction process, involves different parts. Initially you can see at the middle there is a huge tank, right, which is represented with a light green and a blue color, right, and inside this tank you can see there is V-shaped and inverse V-shaped line, continuous line, right, and below that you can see a separate chamber with red color, right, and I'll explain you what are all this. Initially you can consider this initial one, what I told you at the first, is a tank or a vessel into which the sample is feeded at the bottom end. You can see it is fixed in an inclined manner, and at the right hand side you can see it is fixed with a motor, and at the left hand side you can see there is a pipeline connection, right, or a stand connection, right. This is not a pipeline connection, it's a stand connection, and from the top in the blue color representing with arrow mark is a pipeline connection at the top end, right, and this tank is enclosing a helicoidal screw type scales within the tank along with the central shaft. Central shaft is the black color, thick black color shaft which is connected to the motor, right, and you see, and it has got a two-side opening, one at the lower end and another one at the upper end, right. The sample is fed from this hopper which is connected at the lower end of the tank, and the solvent is allowed to flow through the pipeline connected at the upper end of the tank, and the tank at the bottom has the heating jackets, and inside the tank you can see the central shaft which is connected to the motor is having fixations to the helicoidal screw type scales, right. So when the motor is switched on and the central shaft rotates, and even the helicoidal screw type scales are also rotated in a clockwise direction, and at the bottom end of the tank has got only one opening at the inclined right hand side, right. At the bottom you can see which is colored in orange color, that is the opening, and it is the outlet for the extract, right. So well, I will briefly explain about the process, right. Initially, as I told you earlier, the sample is fed through this hopper at the inclined position at the bottom end to the tank, and the solvent is allowed to pass through the pipeline system at the top end of the tank, and the motor is switched on. When you switch on the motor, it rotates the central shaft, and the central shaft is fixed with the helicoidal spring scales, and when these helicoidal spring scales are rotated clockwise, they carry the substance or sample material which is fed into the tank towards the upward inclination, right, upward inclination, and where you can see the solvent is allowed to flow in opposite direction because of the inclination, right, through the tank. And when the solvent is allowed to flow in opposite direction, the solvent has a tendency to penetrate through the plant tissues materials which is present in the sample substance, and it will dissolve and extract out all the active ingredients which are present in the sample and comes out as extract and which is collected at the bottom end, right? And you can see there is a solid discharge outlet, right, which is at the left hand side, and the solid material from which all the active ingredients are extracted will come out through this opening. Well, let us look into the process explanation. And this process is a highly effective process whereby the solvent flows in the opposite direction to the plant material which is fed into the tank, and the solids in a suitable form are fed into the lower end of the process vessel, and which are transported upwards through the extractor by rotating the helicoidal screws by means of a motor, right? That's what I explained you earlier. And the first extraction liquid enters at the top end and flows by inclination, and the speed of the screws are adjusted, which is adjusted to give a necessary residence time or necessary contact time for the solid. The flow of liquid is adjusted to give an optimum concentration of the extract. That means it is maintained, right? The residence time is maintained and the flow of liquid is adjusted in such a way the maximum amount of active ingredients are extracted from the sample material. Unlike the maceration and percolation process, which are normally batch processes, this method is a continuous process, right? So you should understand what is the meaning of batch process and continuous process. Well, in pharmaceutical technology, a process which has feeding at one end and collecting the product at the other end continuously on regular flow as long as the machine is operated is called as continuous process. Whereas batch process is you need to stop the machine and open the machine, and you have to feed the sample, close the machine and switch on the power of the machine, and then collect the product, switch off and collect the product, right? It is a batch process, right? Whereas the products are obtained in batch wise in batch process, and the products are obtained continuously in continuous process. So in this case, unlike the maceration and percolation what we have discussed earlier, which are batch processes, and this method, that is counter current extraction process, is a continuous process. And the screw extractors, these screw extractors are also called as carousel extractors, and these are two types of equipment which are used for counter current extractions, right? And screw type extractors and carousel extractors are used for counter current extraction process, two different equipments which are used for counter current extraction process. Next is supercritical gas extraction. So what is supercritical gas? So a gas at high pressure is called as supercritical gas. And what happens to the gas when you apply high pressure? The gas will liquefy, right? So in this case, what we use is we use a supercritical gas or a compressed gas to extract the active ingredients from the plant sample material, right? So well, you can look into the picture. There are three different tanks into which the material, that is raw material or plant parts, are feeded at the top, right? And you can see the top right hand side there are outlets, and the bottom ends are connected to the inlets, right? So inlets are at the bottom and outlets are at the top, right? And the tanks are normally closed once the sample material is filled into the tanks. So through the inlets, the liquefied gas, that is liquefied carbon dioxide, which is normally used because which is inert and it will not cause any issues with the products. For that reason, carbon dioxide is used as a compressed carbon dioxide or liquefied carbon dioxide, or it is also called as supercritical carbon dioxide. So this liquefied carbon dioxide is allowed under high pressure to enter the tanks. And this liquefied gas, which is under high pressure, will penetrate through the plant tissue material which is present in the sample and dissolves and takes out the active ingredients and reaches the second part of extraction process. And in this from this second part extraction, it is reaching to the separation process either by filtration or by condensation, right? And then the condensed solvent is again used for recycling method, right? So I will explain you in detail in the process explanation. Well, the supercritical gas extraction is a method for extracting active ingredients using gases, normally liquefied gases. A supercritical extraction works when carbon dioxide is highly compressed at a specific temperature, and during this process it transforms into a dense liquid gas known as supercritical carbon dioxide, as I told you earlier. And this supercritical carbon dioxide is stable and it is inert and it is non-toxic. And in this process, the plant material is placed when a vessel that is filled with liquid carbon dioxide under controlled temperature and at high pressure. And this liquid carbon dioxide dissolves the active ingredients within the plant material and then passes into a separating chamber where both pressure and temperature are lowered. And the extract precipitates out and it is removed through a valve at the bottom of the chamber. This is how the process is carried out. And next extraction process we have is steam distillation. And this steam distillation is most widely used for extracting most of the active constituents from the plants and most of the essential oils. Essential oils are those oils which gives fragrance when you use them in pharmaceutical formulations as an additive, right? And they are used to promote the fragrance, right? In either in perfumery or in any other cosmetic preparations, etc. Well, so the steam distillation is another method for extracting active ingredients from the medicinal plants. Well, in the diagram you can see there are three different sections of equipment, right? The first one is a big one which is called as retort, and the second at the right hand side is the condenser, and then you have the third one at the right hand side bottom corner, a separator which separates the two different liquids. So, well, let me explain briefly how the process is carried out, right? So, what we are doing in the process is initially the plant material is loaded onto the perforated plates inside a cylindrical tank or a cylindrical still, and steam is injected from below. So you can look into the diagram. I told earlier that is having a retort, right? And that is called as a still also, and that is the sampling tank, right? the material is filled here and the steam is injected through a pipeline system, and it forms a plate which has got perforations or minute holes at the upper end of the plate and which is facing towards the tank, right? And the steam passes through the openings of the pipeline system which is fixed into the still, and then already the still is filled with the material, and the steam penetrates the material and it reaches the condenser, and then the condensed liquid will have both the active ingredient, which is a volatile oil normally, along with the solvent. One will be aqueous and other will be non-aqueous, right? So they both will be immiscible with each other, and based on their density factors they can be separated out by using a separator. Well, so the plant material is initially loaded into the perforated plates inside a cylindrical tank or a still, and then the steam is injected from below. The steam dissolves the desired substances in the plant material, then enters a condenser where it is condensed back into a liquid, and this condensate then passes into the flask where the extract either rises to the top or settles to the bottom based on its density, as I told you earlier, and it is separated from the solvent or from the water, and the distillation is complete when there is no more extract present in the condensate, and the water may be reused. The water or solvent, whatever we are using, normally for steam distillation we use water as menstruum, and the water may be recycled or reused, and the extract is purified through centrifuging or either through filtration. And this completes the objectives of our part 2. Along with this, I have few revision questions, and I have categorized them into different categories, and I want you all to answer these questions and submit to me by Sunday, coming Sunday, right? I have to give enough time for you all, because I know you all are busy with other subjects also, and you take your time till Sunday 12 noon, right? Sunday 12 o'clock noon is your final time, and before 12 noon you have to answer all these questions and submit your answers to me. And the categories of these questions include very short answer type questions, and you have short answer type questions, long answer type questions, and a few multiple choice questions, and few fill up the blanks, and match the following, etc. Right? So all these, there are around 46 questions, and I want you all have to go through whatever the explanation is given earlier in part 1 as well as in this part, that is part 2, and try to answer all these. Along with these informations, whatever has been provided to you, I also request you all to go through the reference articles. There is a review article which is attached along with the video, right? So the review article is for the supercritical gas extraction, and it is mentioned as a review on supercritical liquid extraction process, right? So it's same as supercritical gas extraction because liquefied gas we are using there. And then I have given one PDF attachment of a student guide for essential oils processing, right? So please go through these two attachments, and these will help you to understand better about the steam distillation process as well as the counter current or supercritical gas extraction process. right? Well, let me summarize before I conclude. So in the summary, in part 1 we have covered liquid extraction, and in this we have discussed about separating funnel, and we have explained how to use separating funnel for extraction process. And we also discussed about solvent extraction, and the solvent extraction we have discussed maceration processes along with percolation methods. And in part 2 we have discussed about infusion, decoction, digestion and countercurrent extraction. And in this we have also discussed about supercritical gas extraction and steam distillation, right? So along with this I have given few revision questions also as assignment for you, which you have to answer and submit back to me by coming Sunday, right? Well, with this we complete part 1 and part 2 of extraction process. And here I have given you few references, textbook references and reference books, and these remain same. And the reference article I have given supercritical fluid extraction as a review article, which you need to refer and understand the process. And in addition I have given a student guide on essential oils by Summer Academy, right? So please go through this student guide to understand steam distillation process in detail. So well, this is the high note by John Stratton, right? This is a high note quote. The purpose of critical thinking is rethinking, that is by reviewing, by evaluating and by revising thought, right? And this is a great quote given by John Stratton. And with this I come to the end of part 2. So wish you all a good day again and good luck.